Welcome back everybody to R44 Performance. Today is a cool day. So you find us on a Saturday morning at R44 Performance in Wembley in London with myself, Reese, and Dylan behind the camera, and we are excited to announce that we're going to bring out a cool little edition. So we're going to call this the Toronto Red R44 Edition 1. So this is the build that we put together. All the team here at R44 have influenced this build to make a G80 that we think is an iconic build, using parts that are regularly available, nothing too crazy, but the perfect like OEM plus specification on this car, from exterior mods to a bit of interior to a bit of performance, but nothing too crazy, but very clean, but handpicked. So less about that now, let's talk about this. So this is a Toronto Red 2021 car. Brand new of such. It's got a bit of miles on it. It's got 2,000 miles, but we are the first owner of it. It's a Toronto Red. The history of Toronto Red is a car. We've built 2 Toronto Red cars in our time so far. One was Will, so shout out to Will. That was a car that came early 21 and kind of influenced this decision. Really clean. But then Toronto is where I was born and lived for my kind of childhood of such, and I've always wanted to get one of these cars in our workshop and do a build that we wanted to do. So Toronto Red is looking a bit orange at the moment, but I think that's just how it is, and the condition of the paint, obviously a dealer kind of condition, which they think is great, but we're gonna refine that over at R44 Detailing. But yeah, so it's a Toronto Red color. Spec, it's got the 825M wheels, which will see what we're going to do with those, which are clean with some P0s. Exterior wise, it's got like the visibility pack, I believe, with the laser lights, which everybody needs. Non-carbon, which obviously why, and non-ACC, just because we don't really like the radar. We think it's a cleaner build without it. You don't always need it. But going into the interior, it's a really nice spec. So there's a lot of interior specs you can have. Obviously, you've got the beautiful carbon buckets that we have on our other G80, but this car we wanted to get to the ideal spec. So I think comforts are a really good option. They're very popular now. Obviously, as people seen the carbon buckets, they're great. They're not good for commuting, not good for daily use from comfort as well as wear and tear. You'll have issues. So we've gone for the comfort seats, and we've gone for a black on black interior, which I think is clean. I've had Silverstone grey, which is good, but with the extended leather pack, you have a white dash, you can get dirty, whereas this is perfect for a daily, clean build. So yeah, it's got comfort seats, black on black interior, extended leather, obviously the full carbon interior that comes standard. Got the carbon roof, this is a competition model. It's got red brakes, which I think are perfect, so it contrasts really well with the body. And then what we'll do with the wheels, we'll just pull in really nice. Going around to the rear, it's just a standard car, carbon pack, so just a standard diffuser. But yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do is kind of go through with the team. We're going to handpick all the parts that we think would work really well for the car. So it's from the carbon packs to the bit of performance. We're not going to go too crazy. We're going to go off after this, after we build it. We're not going to use the car. We are going to sell it to a new owner at a good value for what the car is worth, plus the parts to then hand over that hopefully a really enthusiast, a BMW enthusiast is going to get it and be like, this is special. We're going to do some cool things with some plaques and make it special, and hopefully the legacy of this build is quite meaningful to myself, as well as all the other team here, kind of just to go, this is something special. So we'll touch briefly as well. We obviously wrote off our M3, crashed it on a racetrack, which we might touch on. So that was the first M3 to be delivered here in the UK from Park Lane, which you can see on the link below. Let's throw that down there from Paul Wallace. So shout out to Paul Wallace. We collected that very early on, and it kind of drove the growth of the business on the G80X platform. So that was our iconic car. That's unfortunately kind of smashed up at a body shop at the moment, and we are going to sell that car to actually a really cool guy, an enthusiast. I'm not too sure what he's going to do with it. Either he's going to break it for parts or he's going to rebuild it and use it for himself. It's not too bad. It's just for me, I'm very particular with my cars and how I like them. I like it to be like OEM plus, and I just like to know that everything's perfect on it, and I don't really want to drive around a crashed kind of car. But it's sad that it's going to go, but we're going to put the love that we have for that car into this car, so the new owner can hopefully appreciate it and really enjoy it. So we're going to do some cool things. All the parts on here are kind of chosen by us, and that's what I think is going to be touching on this build. And see, I think these are underrated. Toronto red is a beautiful color. We're going to transform it, and you guys are going to let us know. And if you think that we've made a mistake with the options, let us know. It'll be interesting to see what other people think, but we think this is cool. So yeah, anyways, guys and girls, we're going to leave that there. We're now going to go pick all the parts from our warehouse over there, and then I'll walk you through why we've chosen each part, and then we'll get into the build.